Hello and welcome to another installation of the Gimme 5 podcast. As you can see, the blue curtain is drawn of the selectional confessional, and we have another unsuspecting guest. Well, he is suspecting, but he doesn't know what he's in for yet. He's waiting there. I'm going to introduce him in a moment. Gary Marshall is in situ. Everyone's got a red room in their house since 50 Shades of Grey, and he's certainly got that. We call it the Emirates North. And I'm looking forward to today, Gaz. As you know, I always get a bit of a spring in my step when we get Welsh guests on here, because you know, which is
a main theme of this show. I'm realizing.
Well, today is no exception, because I think if you looked up the dictionary definition of the word Welshman, it would actually say the legend that is Llanelli, Wales, all-round good egg, top man, star rugby player, and even master of the northern, or the other code of rugby that we don't really speak about too much in Wales, the rugby league. Gaz, do you know much about that?
I know a lot about rugby league.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
The rules are simpler.
Oh, the rules are simpler. And is it more exciting on the whole?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, I don't know if it's more exciting, but I understand it more than rugby union.
Yeah, well, we'll get a professional take on this now when we introduce the one and only Scott Quinnell. Woo! Scott, there he is.
Hello, boys. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm just saying this. That looks a proper Zoom setup that you've got there. Everything's symmetrical. It looks very studious, very academic.
Well, it's taking a year to actually work it. So it's quite nice. Normally, it's on the computer. Normally, by now, I've panicked. I've either gone back to the phone or the iPad. And I'm like, I'm up here somewhere. So if you've seen all the other ones, I don't know, but I've actually got the computer to work. So this is my virgin time on the computer. Can I just say, it's brilliant to see you guys. Absolutely brilliant. I can't believe we haven't worked together for over a year now.
It's been
you're the only man, Rod, you're the only man I know that hair looks darker now than before lockdown.
Look at that. Hey?
Old Lego.
It's unbelievable.
I've had a lot of stress as well. You know, imagine what it was like before.
But Gaz and me have been painting the roof white. You've been painting your roof black by the looks of it.
I'm sure he's ginger, you know. He just dyes it black.
Bit of strawberry blonde in there.
How are you, boys?
Yeah, we're not bad at all, pal. Not bad at all. I thought I'd been seeing some scented candles in the background, SQ, if I'm honest with you.
Scented candles.
Yeah, I got some here somewhere. Unfortunately, it's not smell-o-vision. Luckily, Nick, as quick as she can make them, she's selling them, so it's quite nice at the moment.
Fair enough.
It's quite nice.
I tell you what, I didn't realise, Scott, because I've never worked with you in a t-shirt. The tattoos,
no,
the sleeves,
yeah, well,
magnificent.
I've got a few. I got a few, and I got all the chest, and I got the back then and everything.
You must have gone through some bubble gum when you were younger.
It's funny the other day, right? Because I went in. And what did I do the other day? I went in, and I'm having an op next week. And the surgeon said to me, and I was dressed in my t-shirt and everything. And the surgeon said to me, "Look, we may have to give you an injection before the op." You know, he said, "How are you with needles?" I looked at him and I went, and he went, "Yeah, you should be all right." I went, "Yeah, I'm not too bad with needles." I've caught a few people have tried to give me somebody tried to give me an injection once, and she followed the outline of the tattoo up my arm, and she said, "Can't see the vein." I said, "There's one there somewhere." And she went to put it in, and she missed. And as she missed, she sort of fainted, so I had to catch her as well. Yeah, very strange, very strange. So, we should do beach parties. We do all these dinners and we do all these lunches. We should do beach parties, and it would be all right, then, wouldn't we?
Much easier in shorts and flip-flops, mate.
Well, he's in shorts and flip-flops.
Oh, man.
To be fair. Gaza.
Well, this snow, I think, is actually my fault, because last Tuesday, when it was 20 degrees, I got my flip-flops and shorts out. And because I got my flip-flops and shorts out, it actually snowed here this morning.
It's still snowing here. It's still snowing here in Doncaster.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been like Bob Cratchit sat in that little office of his there. The heater's not working.
Yeah, my boiler's gone. That's not a euphemism.
I tell you what, you'll have one piece of coal for the whole family for the evening.
That's right. Yeah, you've obviously been in around with him.
Yeah. I buy the lager, he buys the top.
So it's been an exciting year for Wales thus far, certainly as far as the rugby's concerned. I mean, was that something you saw coming, Scott?
Yeah, I do Scrum 5 on the BBC now. And I had a load of shit. How does this podcast work? Can I say shit?
Yeah. Oh, you can say shit.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I had a load of fucking shit, and because I said that Wales were going to win the Grand Slam, and everyone, I can't believe this. You know, they were poor last year. I said, well, look, you asked me, you paid for my opinion. I said, that's my opinion. Wales are going to win the Grand Slam. Of course, they made me look like a fool in the end, didn't they? Losing to France by a couple of points. So we won the championship. We didn't win the Grand Slam. So everybody thinks now I'm like Mystic Meg around the place. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like I'm starting to do card readings next week out to the bar I've built out the front.
So when you predict the future for Wales now from here on in, I mean, does it bode well, or have we peaked? Is that us?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't shuffled the cards yet. I'll have to go. I can run out the back if you want. I can run down the back and do a read if you know, but I only did up to March.
Fair. That's fair enough. Yeah, I know how these things work.
Yeah. I think we'll have a good summer because probably we won't tour anywhere, so we'll be still at home, so it won't be too bad then. And autumn internationals come and we'll be fine again then. I'm looking forward to the British and Irish Lions.
Well, yeah, it's funny you should say that because there's a bit of a family connection there, isn't there, somehow?
Yeah, I got a few. There's a few in the family.
We were
in the family. Yeah.
We were trying to just remind us of the connections in the family, the rugby.
Well, my father played a bit of rugby. He won 3 British Lions tours. My godfather's Barry John, known as the King. He was, just incredible. Outside half, played for Wales, played for the Lions. My godfather was Merv the Swerve, played for the Lions, played for Wales. My brother's godfather was J.J. Williams, played for the Lions, played for Wales. My other brother's godfather was Gareth Jenkins, coach of the Lions, played for Wales. My mother's cousin, second removed, Roy Burgess, was British and Irish Lion and played. My brother played for Wales. My younger brother played for Wales in the 21s. My mother's 2 other brothers played for Llanelli. I'm the 7th best rugby player in my family, but the best rugby league player. So it's great. That's the only reason I went north. It wasn't for the cash or anything. That's the only reason I thought, well, if I go, as long as my dad or somebody doesn't come out of retirement and go north now, I'll still be the best rugby player that ever went north in my family. To play rugby, obviously, Barry John's been wearing, but they've all been north, you know what I mean? But they haven't played rugby league.
What year did you go to Wigan?
94 to 96.
Okay.
Brilliant. Great time.
Who were the big names up there?
Oh, God. Well, big names. You say big names. It was Chris Radinsky, Martin Afaya, Jason Robertson, Vinga Tugamala, Gary Connolly, Sean Edwards, Henry Paul. There was Frano Botica, Dennis Betts, Phil Clark, Andy Farrell. Who else was there? There was Barry McDermott, Terry O'Connor, Kelvin Skerritt, Martin Hall, Neil Cowie, Martin Dermott. There must be a couple I forgot.
This poor team.
Oh man! Right. To be honest, luckily I went there and turned around. They were world club champions when I were there. It was brilliant. They just come back from Brisbane. They come back from Brisbane and they were just. I walked into the changing room. It was like walking. It was like walking to a Hall of Fame, and Westy was our coach, and he was great. He said, "Scott," he said, "introduce yourself to everybody." He said, and then we're on the park. That's it. I introduced myself to everybody. We had 10 minutes chat, and then on the park, and off we went. And brilliant people, brilliant, not only rugby players, but great guys off the park, and just lovely. The Wiganers are just, just fantastic. It was leaving Llanelli and going to Wigan was very, very similar. Both rugby towns heaped in history. Just the best couple of years ever.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, not just the rugby as well, because now you're a broadcaster extraordinaire. You've been star of the screen as well, stellar, and so on. I mean, there's no end to your talent, Scott.
Well, there's an end. there's definitely an end. I've been told that a couple of times. It's funny because I've been retired now. I played my last ever game of rugby union in November 2004. So I've been retired for, hang on, help me out here, 16 years, 17 years going on. And it's just incredible, just incredible. I've been retired longer than I was a rugby player. And I'm lucky now. I do some stuff on radio, and I don't. Before you both look at me like you got a face for radio. I know I've got a face for radio, right? But I've worked on TV. I've been lucky enough to, I've done bits and that. The lockdown, I did the Great Indoors on BBC Wales with Carol Vorderman. I worked with Will Greenwood for years with Sky, but we did School of Hard Knocks.
Great series.
School of Hard Knocks. And it was just fantastic, and I worked, I did a bit of acting. I've done 2, 3 or 4 bits of acting now. And 2 of the main parts I played myself. You know what I mean? Stella, I played myself. And they went in and I said, they sort of said, Scott, no, just be yourself. I said, all right. And I didn't, when you go to camera and you've done it, how would you be yourself? You know what I mean? You end up going, you know what I mean? You sort of, you go in, you think, oh, you realise it was so camp in fairness. And they said, Scott, just calm down now, be yourself. I said, all right. So Steve Spears, brilliant Steve Spears. He wrote the first episode I went in. And, you're nervous because it's something that you've never done before. It was absolutely brilliant. And I was coaching the rugby club. And we were there now. And I had to do this big scene. And I was reading out. I was going through the script the night before. And I thought, this kind of seems familiar. I thought, oh. So I got there the following day, and Steve said, "Are you right now? Right with the script?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's great." I said, "It seems familiar somewhere." Yeah, he said, "You did that in School of Hard Knocks for 1 year speeches and just changed the names." And I went, "Brilliant!" I thought it was the one. And so they made it really, really, really nice for me just to ease into it. And I did my 1 cameo role then, and then luckily enough, I got back and asked to do 8 other cameo roles during the seasons and a couple of Christmas specials. So yeah, it was fabulous. And then I did Mike Bubbins and the team from what was that? Bubs. What was it? You have to cut that bit. I can't remember. What was it? Bloody what they call? What was it?
Anyway,
Tourist Trap. Hang on. Oh, Mike Bubbins got me to do the Tourist Trap, and I had to play myself again. But that was all improvised, and it was brilliant. Just doing a bit of improvisation, everything like that. Well, it was just fantastic, and they made me feel so welcome on that. So it was great.
So when you watch the performance back of you playing yourself, do you think you nailed it, or do you think they could have got someone in to do a better job?
Well, I just keep on thinking, well, I play a fat bastard really, really well. just, you know what I mean? That's just incredible. I'm typecast now. But no, do you know what? I can't watch myself, man. I can't. I've never been one to be able to watch anything I've done or listen to anything I've done, because I haven't got an accent. No. And then when I listen to, I put in an accent on all the time, and I don't know why I do it.
He's got an accent, Gaz.
Yeah, a slight one.
Slight one, isn't it?
Especially when he's on telly, it's a very camp Welsh accent as well.
Oh.
So we're going to start you off, Scott, on your Gimme Fives. We've asked for your subjects. Your first one is films. Your top 5 films, SQ. and we'll discuss them. Why?
Yeah.
What's your number one?
Well, my first film, my favorite film of all time is Highlander.
Oh.
I just love the film. When I was younger, you know what I mean, to be immortal, to go around, to carry a sword, to go through the generations, and the heartbreak of having love and losing love, and then mainly, you know, there can be only one. I just love it. I just absolutely love it. I love it. And then, you know what I mean? And then today you got to have your head chopped off, and you just think, you know what I mean? Whoever wrote that story was absolutely mad, and just one of the best films ever. Sean Connery is Spanish Sean Connery with his Scottish accent.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely brilliant. And no more Highlanders, mine. It's only Highlander.
Only Highlander.
Not Highlander 2, not any of the others.
There can be only
one. Because when I say... Well, yeah, there should have been only one. That should have been the line in the film. There should be only one movie, and that's the end of it. To me, that's just the best movie ever. And it was on, actually, funnily enough, last night, and I recorded it again, so I can watch it at leisure.
Yeah. How many times have you seen Highlander, SQ?
Oh, I don't know, once a year.
That'll do.
So, you know, by the time I go 20 odd times, 25 times. Just, you know, if it's on, that's it. That's what I'm watching.
Our producers just sent me
from the Clan MacLeod. Huh?
Ian Parsons, the producer, he's just sent me a little note through that says, while filming in the Scottish Highlands, the production team of Highlander were kept very busy, the medical team, after a liquid lunch when most of the Scottish extras got a little bit too feisty and ended up maiming several of the main characters. So there was obviously a big cast turnaround there, thanks to the older... Mind, they love it. They love a bit of that, don't they? A bit of rhubarb, the Scots, when they're all... That's what you got to shout, by the way, in a battle scene, rhubarb. Did you know that?
Rhubarb.
Is it?
Rhubarb, because that simulates all the things that, you know, rhubarb.
See, I couldn't have been in that either, because I'd have been going, and custard! Because I just, man, you can't have rhubarb without the custard, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or a crumble.
Oh, that's another thing.
What's number 2 in your films, Scott?
Twin Town.
Oh, yes, Scott. That's the second time in Gimme 5.
Yeah, we've had this is the second time it's been in someone's top 5.
Yeah.
And who was the other one?
Oh, the Welsh legend, Mark Crossley.
Oh, he's got very, very good taste.
Yes.
Honestly, Twin Town is probably, well, it's up there with Highlander. You know, the way you go, pretty shitty city. Oh, you're coming in. Oh, you're in the bath. You know what I mean? If you do happen to be in the bath with your brother, that's your real brother, it's pretending to be your brother, and you know you got your head under and you're doing a bong, and you come up and you go, F.A. fucking man, isn't it? You know what I mean? And it's the only place that you actually learn stuff in as well, because who knew about triangle flags and square flags in football?
Correct.
Did you know that before the film?
No.
No.
What was that line then? Pretty shit. What was it?
Pretty
shitty cities. When they come into when he comes into Swansea, and it's the English guy and he's the copper. And he goes, pretty shitty city. I've been a guy from Llanelli, and that was about Swansea. You just giggle every time.
The big regret there is that Sean Connery didn't get to deliver that line, because it would have been made for him.
Can you imagine it? Can you imagine if that was in like Highlander? He turns up to Paris in 1832. Ah, pretty shitty city, man.
Oh, God.
That would have been cool as hell, wouldn't it?
Here's
a tenner. Go get yourself a pot of sticky and fuck off. I've never seen that last another one. It's another one of my favourite lines. I love it.
Number 3, Scott.
Number 3 is this is quite a The Blind Side.
Oh,
Have you seen it with Sandra Bullock?
it's in my top 5 of all time.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, got to be. It's got a bit of everything.
Yeah. Honestly,
It's got a bit of everything.
It gets you. And also the thing, I think the scene that gets me is taking him for some clothes. That was the thing.
Yeah.
It was resonated with me, taking me for a shirt. You can't go to top, man, being my size. So a nice big sweatshirt works for me all day long.
But it's not only that though, isn't it? It's like, you know, when he sleeps on the couch and it's you know, when he goes missing again, he doesn't feel like he belongs in the family. The family dynamic, when they bring him in, they turn him into their brother.
Yeah.
And and then the biggest thing that gets to me, the film is fantastic. The film is absolutely brilliant, and this always gets it for me when they're true stories. It's the photographs after that you've just seen a brilliant film. You've seen somebody make their dream, and somebody say, God's come up with that, and then you see the actual photographs that then align with the film, and you sit back and you just think, my God, that is incredible.
Yeah. And she won the Oscar for that, Sandra Bullock, as well.
Yeah.
She was outstanding. And I think like you say, the thing that gets me on it as well, when he's on the Christmas cards, they have the photo, don't they? The family photo, and they're all on the Christmas cards with him. It's just a brilliant film.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant, and it's those true stories that I think that resonate. When for me, that the one thing that gave me my self-esteem, because I couldn't read and write until I was 36, and I struggled in school and everything, and that part, you could have just put that sort of okay, I had a great family life and everything like that, but the rugby gave me my self-esteem, and then to add that to having, no opportunity and having no school to go to and having no family to be a part of, and add that on top of all the adversity that he had as well, was the most brilliant true life story.
And it was actually a popular choice, evidently, because it's apparently the second highest grossing sports drama of all time, which after a film called Dangle.
In fairness, right? Probably just behind Highlander as the biggest true story of all time.
Yeah, Scott Quinnell.
Oh yeah.
Well,
pretty shit there.
Number 4 on your list, Scott.
Well, I'm there right now. I know it's Terminator, right? And only because I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, when I was growing up, was one of my idols, right? And so I love the Terminator franchise. That scene when he comes to Earth for the first time, and he and he gets up, and he's this big monster of a man, and it turns out to be obviously a robot from the future and everything like that. But it could quite easily have been Conan the Barbarian, or Kindergarten Cop. It could have been any of those, sort of films that he's known for.
Twins.
Could have been Twins. Danny DeVito. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Just a legend. But it also, I've got written down on my sheet of paper, right? Stroke Rocky, the first one.
Yeah.
So it could have been Rocky Balboa. It could have been again, the guy coming in, the boxing, the fight, you know what I mean. So those two films for me are sort of my youth, my sort of the things that you looked up to these guys that sort of had the physiques that perhaps you wanted when you were a kid.
Yeah. What about you mentioned those sort of Rocky and then from the 80s, and what about Chuck Norris? Were you a Chuck Norris fan?
Yeah, in a way, and Steven Seagal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I just never had a ponytail to be Steven Seagal.
Well, Chuck Norris was like
just hard as nails, Yeah, and to be honest with you, right, Steven Seagal, he could have been in there, but I used to go on a train in Pembrey Country Park, and it wasn't long enough really to save the world. So, you know, and it had, you know, so I didn't have that connection with those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
a bit of irony for you is the fact that we're giving you Terminator for sure, but O.J. Simpson was considered for the part of the Terminator, but the producers feared he was too nice to be taken seriously as a cold-blooded killer.
Jesus Christ! Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the problem is he probably wouldn't have fitted the gloves. So, you know what I mean? He'd have probably fallen short on the sort of the wardrobe department.
It's a good choice, though. Good choice, Terminator. Okay, next one.
Your final one.
Right. This is sort of left. This is when me and Nick, my wife, sit down Christmas time, right? The mulled wine is out. You know, you're having you're having a cutch on the settee, and it's the holiday.
Oh.
And it's. Have you seen? Gaz, have you?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah. Jude Law, Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jack Black.
My daughter likes it. Yeah, she's a big fan of the film.
Yeah, Gaz won't embrace his feminine side, Scott. This is the problem we're having with him.
Wouldn't you?
No. He doesn't get anything to do with musicals.
Well, you don't have to, you know, you can skip over Jack Black and Jude Law. You can go straight to Cameron Diaz, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You can fast forward some bits, but it's a holiday film. It's a feel-good film. They always help they help the old man. Jack Black does a bit of singing, which is brilliant. School of Rock, another one. Oh, I didn't even put School of Rock in. He could have done that one. Yeah. And it's just a feel-good film. And when I see that, I know Christmas is here.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Scott. Because
I like feel-good films. I'm massive, but I'm probably more 80s feel-good films. I'm more Pretty in Pink and Some Kind of Wonderful and things like that, mate. But right. I'm up for feel-good films all day long.
I like Bewitched.
Oh, Bewitched, the new one. Yeah.
I could never do that with a nose. I think because I've banged my nose so many times and I've had my septum put around I actually, instead of I had nosebleeds all the time. After the 2001 Lions tour, I got hit in the first game and I had nosebleeds all the time and the pillow stick to my head in the night and everything. So when I got back, they took my septum out and put it the other side of the vein that was bleeding. Oh, and so I could never do the Bewitched. So because of that, I kind of resented the film.
Too much time on your hands you must have, as listening to the Gimme 5 podcast you are.
We're now going on to a bit of music. Your favourite artiste or groups?
Yeah, well, my favourite of all time, my go-to is Queen. And my one big regret is I never saw Freddie Mercury, live. I think we all saw Live Aid, and we all saw, what he did at Wembley, live at Wembley, live at Rio. Just I've got I got the cassettes of that. Just incredible, just absolutely incredible, and just such an array of music. And when you think of from obviously Bohemian Rhapsody to Fat Bottom Girls to Barcelona, you know what I mean? His voice, his range of voice is just absolutely incredible. And if I could bring one guy back just to have and see live in a massive stadium like in Rio or in Wembley, it'd be Freddie Mercury every day of the week.
I was into Queen when I got to secondary school. I loved like Save Me and Los Palabras de Amor, stuff like that, and Play the Game. I used to love play the game. That sort of era for Queen, I loved. Like you say, the Fat Bottom Girl, the bicycle race. Oh, brilliant!
Yeah,
brilliant.
Well, he went from that, and he had pop, he had rock, he had harder rock. It just, they embraced everything, and they just loved it. Yeah. And they actually they wrote Bohemian Rhapsody in Monmouth, just the other side of Monmouth, and in the farm out there, and
Rockfield,
it was just
Rockfield Studios.
Yeah, Rockfield, yeah. So it's only from where I live now. I know you introduced me from Llanelli, and I only moved to Usk, so you could actually be easier for you to pronounce, to be honest. You just use it. And they just ended up here just fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, number two on your list.
They're my number two on my list. Oh, she is just the queen, and she's turned out to be the queen of the pandemic as well. Dolly Parton.
Oh,
wow! I just love Dolly Parton. Yeah. I just her voice. I went to see her. I think it was 2007. Was it 17, 18? She did Glastonbury, and the week before she did Cardiff Arena in Cardiff, and the Motor Point. And I went to see her, and I had front row seats. My wife, because I love her so much, my wife bought front row seats, and ironically, she just stared at me all the way through the gig. I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean?
Oh, she would.
Just and Nicholas said she stared at her, and actually in that gig, somebody came up to me and went, "You're Scott Quinnell." I said, "Oh yeah," and they said, "I won't tell anybody that you're here." I said, "Well, you can tell whoever you want, pal, because you're here as well." And it was so funny. I was just like, I tell everybody on the radio I love her every day. And my favorite, and you, Gaz, you won't like this, right? Because, but my favorite song from Dolly Parton is 9 to 5. Oh. And basically,
why wouldn't you?
Oh man, I'm doing it now.
You're doing it now.
And honestly, and it's the only song that resonates with me that I've never done in my life. I've never worked 9 to 5, so that's ironic, isn't it?
That's very random, that, yeah.
Yeah, it is my favorite song of all time. 9 to 5, I'm working 9 to 5. And you think, well, no, we'll have to do it. I work from 7 till 12. You know what I mean? I'd have to change it if you made a film about my life, you'd have to change it to sort of, you know what I mean? Oh, I do lunches and I do dinners type of thing.
I work 2 nights a week.
Everybody's happy.
It's ironic that, because I like Life on Mars and I've never been there.
Oh.
So
haven't you?
No, you've been there, haven't you?
Have a chat with Musk. He's off soon.
Musk's off there soon.
Have a chat with him.
Is he taking?
He's off soon. He's brilliant.
I think Brian.
He sent me 2 tickets the other day. If you want to come, I'll sort you out. It's a one-way ticket.
Thanks, God. Are you trying to tell me something?
It's all right. I'm coming as well. Oh, it's funny, right? Because there's another one that could be my music and my TV is Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes. Gene Glenister. You know what I mean? Just incredible.
The Gene Genie.
Oh.
You've just got into it,
yeah, I'm just getting into it now. I think I've nearly finished the second series of Life on Mars, and Debbie she's absolutely in love with the whole thing. Yeah,
John Sim, brilliant. John Sim.
Yeah, but you're right. That Philip. Yeah, he's very politically incorrect, but you just got to love him, haven't you?
Well, can you imagine him down Cardiff Bay now? There'd be nobody around there leaving lit there, would there? You know what I mean? There'd be none of this lockdown stuff if old Gene Hunt was around.
Gene Hunt.
Somebody dropping a pack of crisps, I tell you what, you wouldn't have that.
No.
Even a great name, Gene Hunt.
Gene Hunt.
Curly crisps, son.
So we've gone Queen, Dolly Parton, 2.
Fleetwood Mac.
Why not?
I love Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. I'll produce it.
I've only got into them the last couple because my wife loves Fleetwood Mac, and then we were going to see them. I went to 2018. We went to see them, and oh my god, just Mick Fleetwood did a 15-minute drum solo on his own, and he was just, well, I say on his own, every 5 minutes there was a couple of people sort of come in and sort of add a bit of, it was just amazing. And Stevie Nicks, voice was just incredible, and I kind of fell in love with them that night. I liked them before, but I fell in love with them that night. And we did a holiday that year. We didn't go away. Ironically, we should have gone away because we haven't fucking gone anywhere for the last 2 years since. And we did then Fleetwood Mac on the Sunday, and I took my son and his friend up there, and then we went with friends the following week, and we did Billy Joel on the Saturday. Oh. And then on the Sunday, we did the Eagles, right? And the Eagles, the Eagles was the one that I was going to be a little bit, I'm not sure, it'll be Sunday night, it'll be all right. Oh my God, it was amazing. It was amazing. They rocked, they absolutely rocked. They did 2.5 hours in Wembley, and it was just incredible. I got to say, I probably had more joy in Wembley that night watching the Eagles than I did in '99 when Scott Gibbs scored his try. I was more pissed that night when I watched the Eagles, but it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, but Fleetwood Mac for me are the ones that I've liked over the last 4 or 5 years, and are just brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
I'm glad you managed to crowbar Billy Joel in there, because
and I'm glad you've crowbarred he's crowbarred Billy Joel in.
I know. I've got
Uptown Girl.
Uptown Girl, oh my God.
Uptown, I was 12. I was outside the school, right? And one of the coolest guys in school with us was the metalwork teacher. And he always used to have the radio on. So lunchtime, break time, if we weren't playing rugby or we weren't, queuing up for pasty, we were always around by the metalwork room. And he always had the radio on. And I remember listening really to Uptown Girl for the first time. And it blew my mind, absolutely blew my mind. And I haven't really been into music massively over there. I've got songs that I like, but since I'm now a disc jockey and I work a bit on radio, playing music, and I got a big appreciation for it. But that Uptown Girl was, and then it took me 20 years to watch the video of it. And what a waste of 20 years of my life. I could have been watching Uptown Girl for the last 20 years. And when I saw it, I thought, fucking hell, I can't believe I haven't seen this. And it was great, because I love monkey wrenches. I love spanners. Yeah.
All the things you love were right there, weren't they? Spanners, motorbikes, leather jacket.
It was all there. I couldn't see through. I couldn't see through it.
So we've got Queen, Dolly Parton, Fleetwood Mac. Then we've skirted around the Eagles, Billy Joel. Who's number 4?
Yeah. Guns N' Roses.
Right.
This is going. It could have been Guns N' Roses. It could have been Van Halen. It could have been one of the rock bands, because my mate Colin Lewis. We used to, when I was sort of 16, 17, and he was a couple of years older, sort of playing for the youth. So I was sort of 16, 17 playing for the youth. Colin was 18, 19. He was always driving. And he loved his rock. So he loved his Van Halen. He loved his Guns N' Roses. I just fell in love with it. And Axl Rose, the performance was absolutely brilliant. And and genuinely, if you want to go to the toilet and you're on the radio, you just play November Rain. You can go do whatever you want. You can make a 3-course meal. It's brilliant. You know what I mean? You play the radio version. It's about 6.5 minutes long. So yeah, I've always said I would, and I probably am. I'd probably get the Guns N' Roses tattoo at some stage. So it'll be
where will that go?
Yeah.
Where will that go, Scott?
Where will it go? Probably, well, I haven't got much area left. That's the only reason I'm putting weight on, is to get more skin for tattoos, to be honest with you. It's probably go on my side there somewhere. Right. Probably go on my side.
And And your last choice, slightly left field.
The cast recording of Les Mis.
Oh,
Can I just leave you and Rod to this for a couple of minutes?
Haven't you got? Gaz, you surprised? You're not.
I'm
You're
not,
the
I'm not a
music-
massive
the musical fan.
musicals fan. No, I'm not a massive musicals
you?
fan. No.
Genuinely, I love them. I absolutely love them. If I could come back, if I could go back in another life, hopefully in sort of 50 years, plus, then I would like to have the talent to be able to sing and act and be on stage. Basically, I when I come back, I want to be John Owen Jones.
right.
I want to be like Michael Ball, and
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't do Hairspray. You know what I mean? I have got the heels for that. But
I love the fact that both the singers are Welsh as well.
yeah, well, exactly. Oh, can I just say as well, right? I haven't got him on here. How good is Tom Jones's voice now?
He's getting better and better, isn't he?
He's good.
He was on the radio after me yesterday, right?
Yeah, when he sang that thing, the a cappella thing on The Voice the other day. Oh, it was just class. Stevie Wonder, wasn't it?
Well,
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. Superstition, was it?
Something like that. But he did it. He's done it a few times actually, because he did one by the Skiffle bloke, didn't he? With his son. What's his name?
Lonnie Donegan.
C6 Steve.
C6 Steve.
Have you seen the name of his song? It's the best name of a song you'll ever have in your life. C6 Steve, right?
Yeah.
I started out with nothing, and I've still got most of it left. That is a genius. That is an absolute genius. I love him. I love C6 Steve. He's got one guitar with 3 chords on it, 3 strings. Because when he was busking and things like that, he only had a guitar with 3 strings on. So he made a lot of his songs up with a guitar with 3 strings. And it's just incredible. His story is just, again, it goes back again to The Blind Side and, how people come over adversity and, just brilliant. Just brilliant. But Les Mis, right? Honestly, guys, are you a cyclist? Are you a cyclist?
Who, me?
Does he look like a cyclist?
Oh, no, sorry. Saw the anger in his eyes then. Right. When I was going cycling quite a bit, right, I used to listen to the whole soundtrack of Les Mis. And I would sort of pick routes to where it came. So when it came to the barricade, I would be going uphill and I would be like, come on! And by the time I got to the top of the hill, I just wanted to, sort of rip the head off the hill. And it was just brilliant. Just brilliant. And Bring Him Home is just one of my favorite songs. And my son played Jean Valjean in a school play in Abergavenny, and I just fell in love with it. And I've always loved it. I went to see it. I played for the Barbarians in 1996, and we went to watch Les Mis when we played for the Barbarians, and I was just hooked after that. Just absolutely hooked. Yeah. My son, he sings a lot in the plays and that, and he sort of does musical theatre and everything. And he went. What did he go and do? Little Shop of Horrors, right? So he went to the Little Shop of Horrors, and him and his friend, they go down, and he said, "Dad, I'm gonna get part in Little Shop of Horrors." I said, "Oh, good boy, good, good." So he gets down there, and it's the main character, right? And he comes back, and I said, "How did it go, boy? How did the audition go?" And he went, "Ooh." He said, he said, "The guy's only 5'5". He's got brown eyes and brown hair. I said, it's all right, man. I said, look, it's a good experience, the fact that you've gone and done it. Because my son is 6'7", blue eyes and blonde hair, right? So I said, look, it's just good experience for you. And he went, all right. So then, about 2 weeks later, he phones me up. Dad, I got the part. I said, what part, boy? Because I totally forgotten about it, right? He said, Little Shop of Horrors. He said, I got the part. I said, the little feather with brown hair and brown eyes? He said, yeah. I said, shit, Steele, how tall is the rest of the cast? So he was there, and mind you, do you know, have you seen Little Shop of Horrors? Obviously, it's a big flower, isn't it?
Terrific.
And they had to make the flower about 12 foot tall, so you'd have some contrast between my son and the actual flower. So it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Oh man!
Where's he got
How
this
long is this podcast for? Because how long you cutting this down to?
Oh,
We got it down to about 75 minutes, so we're all right.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right. We got plenty of time left.
We have plenty of time
where
left.
did the musical talent come from? Where did if it's not you, is your missus a bit musical? Or?
Yeah, my dad can sing a bit. My mum's family they can sing a bit. Nicola's cousin is a brilliant singer. And he plays the piano as well. Steve can play the piano and the saxophone and the guitar and that type of thing. And but I'm a quarter English, right? Because my grandfather is English, and it's all my voice box. It's just ridiculous. So that's what I inherited from my grandfather, is the lack of ability to sing. So thanks, Grab. Thanks a lot. I love him a bit because he's a Royal Marine. He's hard as nails and he's got loads of tattoos. He's passed away now, and he was the apple of my eye, and I was the apple of his. You know what I mean? We loved each other to absolutely bits, but he was shit at singing, and that's where I got that from.
As an academic, my fundamental bugbear with the show Give Me 5 is that you will not learn anything by listening to it.
Your next section, we're going to go for your favourite food. I always like people who pick this section. I don't know why, but
I know, right? We're the same. We've done a lot of work together, Gaz, and as we are with Rod as well, right? And you know what I mean. I sit there with Rod, and Rod will sort of pick his food, and I get seconds. You know what I mean? But I don't think we've ever passed anything over, have we, Gaz?
that's it.
You know what I mean? Have you left that bit of beef? That's never happened between us, is it? You know what I mean? Rod, I go. I don't even have to stop at the service station after I've been working with Rod. You know what I mean? It's. It's I know not to bother getting the packet just for the way home because I'll be full because he doesn't eat all his food. But when we work together, guys, obviously I got to get a hamper. If I can take over, I'm starving. And
I understand now why he always says he prefers working with me, and I know the reason now.
Oh, it's brilliant. Look, I tell him, if you're not going to eat the whole spud, don't touch it, because you know what I mean. That's mine, like, you know what I mean. But, food, right? So I couldn't break it down into individual plates of food. I've broken it down into continents, basically, or countries, right? Yeah. Because if my last meal, if somebody said no, you laugh. You could only ever eat one meal for the rest of your life, and that's it. Indian takeaway.
I'm with you with that. I'm with you on that all day long.
So, and normally it would be chicken jalfrezi, a well done keema naan, and onion bhajis with a little bit of mint sauce over the top. That would be my death row probably food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when the jalfrezi came, well, it came from nowhere. The jalfrezi when that first came out, marvelous, the jalfrezi.
Did it come from India or is it one of these British inventions?
No,
I don't know.
Birmingham or Glasgow, most of them come from there. That's where that's where the masalas, and that's where some of the great Indian dishes have come from. Mother India in Glasgow is one of the great Indian restaurants.
Do you know something?
Just
Scott,
fabulous.
Whenever I meet Rod, we always go out for a curry, and the best thing about he'll order something different every time we go out, and I mean every time he'll order it, and as soon as he's had about 3 or 4 mouthfuls, he goes, "Oh, this is the one for me. This is the one for me. This is the one," and he'll never order it again. He's just a lying bastard. He just. What's that Indian we went to and we had the Welsh wine, which is the worst wine I've ever tasted in my life.
That was the Three Mughals.
The Three Mughals.
Yeah. And they do a Welsh wine, a vintage Welsh wine from.
Oh God, it was horrendous. Honestly, this is the one. This is the. What is this? What am I eating? You're eating Madras. This is brilliant. This every single time we go, every new. Oh, this is the one for me.
Well, the one thing
So basically,
after
you've
that,
got a shit memory, you have.
Yeah.
I got.
So what have you got, Gaz? I said I've got king prawn dancer. Oh,
nice.
Debbie, I'm having that next time.
Oh, my favourite line ever. I used to be indecisive, but now I'm not so sure.
This is the one for me.
This is the one for me.
But yeah, Indian food every day of the week. I could eat it every day.
Breakfast,
Have you been
dinner,
to
tea,
India, Scott?
every day of the week.
Have you been to India?
No, not yet. I don't trust myself, to be honest with you.
No.
That's all I do is eat. Did you see the Taj Mahal? Oh, it was a lovely little restaurant.
Wasn't a big touring place.
Have you been in Goa? Did you go? You go swimming in Goa? No, I went to the restaurant. I just ate. I would eat all the way through the whole place. I got to go actually. It'd be lovely. It'd be lovely.
I'd like to go just to see the difference between the food that you'd get in India to what you get here. It's got to be.
Yeah,
be brilliant. So go on then, number 2.
Probably American.
Right.
When I say American, right,
Yeah.
I just mean massive portions. So, so that it's quite general. Like, as long as it's massive portions, it's like American. But I do like, sort of I like a burger. I like the ribs. I like a bit of corn on the cob. I like, a coleslaw. I like the fries, and you know what I mean. That sort of meal. As long as it's big and as long as it's that's my sort of meal.
I'm gonna now go for the American Indian, like a massive Indian, not like the red Indian, like a massive Indian, American Indian.
Buffalo just cut the tail off, and that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? It just lovely.
There's a restaurant in Basleg, and they do exotic meats menu. So you can have like springbok, kangaroo, koala, impala. Yeah, they got all these things there. They got zebra. Obviously, that comes with its own barcode. No, that's not. That's. I didn't just tell you this to do a corny joke. Genuinely, Scott, you should go there because it's it's a voyage of discovery. And the last time I went there,
you know what? They all taste like chicken.
Probably do. I had the bison. I did.
And they've all got wings.
They've all got wings. Bison is definitely the one for me, though.
Yeah, it will be.
Oh, can you imagine this?
What is this? What is this? Bison? Oh, this is the one for me, Deb. This is the one for me.
Suits you, sir. Suits you.
We've got Indian, we've got American. What's third on your list?
Fries.
Extra fries.
What's third on your list, Scott?
Yeah, I think he's going.
Third, sorry. Then it's sort of Chinese.
I was going to say Chinese is surely going to get a look in.
Yeah, Chinese lovely, but then again, it's just sort of barbecue spare ribs. You know what I mean? It's Chinese curry. It's chicken chow mein, beef chow mein, seafood chow mein, chow mein. And crispy duck. I do like a crispy duck. I love going up to Chinatown, and there's one little restaurant in Chinatown. We go there every time we go up to see a show, and it's lovely and fresh. The Chinese sit down. I don't think you can beat it. Absolutely lovely. Crispy duck to start. Hot and sour soup. Absolutely lovely.
Have you had a salt and pepper squid?
Oh yeah. Very nice. Seafood. I love seafood. It's the salt and pepper squid is my go, but it's got to be fresh. You know what I mean? If I'm there in the restaurant, I have those. If it's from a takeaway, normally I have barbecue spare ribs, special chow mein, chicken chow mein, and curry sauce. But if I'm in the restaurant, then I'll have You know what I mean? We had lobster actually last time we went to London, and it was stunning.
Bloody hell!
What's your
Give it all that, mate. Give it all that.
What's your stance on sweet and
Before
sour?
you do it.
I like that.
What's your stance on sweet and sour? Are you a ball or are you a Cantonese style, or don't you like it?
No, I do like it. Yeah, no, yeah. Pork balls, chicken, sweet and sour chicken balls as well. We had a batter. Yeah, batter. Yes, yeah. More batter the better. Yeah. I had a friend around once, and they were vegetarian, and we were eating, and they were sat there. We'd had a couple of beers, and just sort of sat next to me there and eating, and went, "Oh my God! Oh, these are the best pineapple balls I've ever had in my life." And I looked and I went, "I didn't order any pineapple balls." Oh, this is the best. This is my favorite thing of all time. This is amazing. Oh, can't wait to try this in my local. And I only bought pork balls, and they went, "Oh, I can't believe!" I said 2 minutes ago that was the best thing you've ever tried in your life. I said, you know what I mean? I said,
Was he Jewish?
Yeah.
Was he Jewish?
Huh?
Was he Jewish?
Oh, I don't talk to him anymore. Vegetarian.
Number 4 on your list.
No, Italian, because I do enjoy a pizza. Now, I know Rod. He loves his Italians, and he's very good at it. He serves it very well, and I do. But I ate a lot of pasta when I was playing, so I don't eat a lot of pasta anymore. I don't eat a huge amount of pasta. But I do like a breaded chicken. I do like the tomato sauce. But a good pizza every now and again with lots of salami, lots of chili, some chili oil, fresh out of the clay oven. You can't beat it. It's just absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
perfect.
That was good.
Perfect.
Guys, who was it who had that something with batter on? I was just trying to think from when Scott was saying about that. They had something really random dipped in batter, didn't they? Was it?
Matt Letizia had a batter sausage.
What was it?
A
batter sausage?
Yeah, from a chip shop. Matt Letizia.
Yeah.
Matt Letizia, one of his top 5 foods was battered sausage and chips.
Oh, now, if you're going battered, right? Because if you're going battered, have you ever tried battered haggis?
Yes.
Oh, it is amazing.
In Scotland, I was said to the battered king rib with salt and sauce is one of the greatest delicacies of all time. Oh. And then you have your white pudding, your black pudding, your battered haggis. Oh, wow.
Oh, have you ever had, in Scotland, have you ever had a pizza crisp?
A pizza crisp? Oh, yeah, when they put all the stuff on the top.
Put all the stuff, and then they deep fry it.
Yeah, I have had that. We had that. Well, Debbie had it. It was nice. You just don't see it anywhere else.
There's a reason. There's a reason for that.
He said, "This is the one for me next time." He said, "I'm having this next time."
Yeah. I should have written it down.
If I ever see you putting pizza in the oven again, I'm divorcing you.
And your final selection on the food?
French.
Because
obviously, right, the top of the dog. These are top of the dogs would be Welsh. It'd be it'd be your cows and your cockles and your lamb and everything like that. But see now we're going through the field. French, and it's really right because if I was a hunter gatherer, right, and I was the type of bloke that had to sort of fend for himself, I reckon that the one meal I could have every day, if I had to catch it myself, right, would be snails. So that you can have your big game hunting, you can have Rocky Balboas chasing chickens around and expending energy, or you could have a plate full of snails at very little effort for yourself.
You say that, but you never see a gang of them hanging around, do you?
No, that's because I've been there first. And they're on the plate. And you got to watch, right? Because we went out once and a friend of mine caught a couple of them and they said, I got a snail. And I said, no, that's not a snail. I said, it's a slug. And he thought the house had dropped off.
He was a homeless snail.
It's childish, isn't it? That's the most childish thing I've ever said. Yeah, but no, I love staying. But honestly, the French one, right? If you ever go to Clermont-Auvergne, right, in France, obviously in France because it's French, and if you go to Clermont-Auvergne, you go to a restaurant called Chardonnay, and it's just up by the cathedral on the left-hand side. Look up if you're standing looking up to the hill, and right, just to the left of the cathedral, there's a place there called Chardonnay. And they do, that's it. You're exactly there, guy. Yeah. You're exactly there. And it's there, just to the left of it. Yeah. That's it. That's it. If you knock there, if you knock there, right, and go in and ask for a pig trotter gratin, it is the best starter you will ever have in your life.
Pig trotter gratin.
That's the one.
It's about so big, right? They obviously cook it, and then they take the meat off and then they put it in, and then they throw the glutinous. You know what pork's like, the glutinous part of the flesh, and then they put cheese on top and everything, and a bit of garlic, and then you eat it, and then you can't talk for about an hour because your lips are stuck together, right? That's the best starter I think I have ever had. You know what I mean? Rod, you'd love it. That'd be you would need another starter again until the following day and you've forgotten about it.
I personally won't be listening to the Gimme 5 podcast because I haven't seen Gimme 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Right, then we're going to get on to your favourite top 5 comedians.
Well, obviously, Present Company was included. No, it wasn't included, right? Wasn't included, right? So I've gone, my idol, the guy that I watched a program on him the day, whenever it's on, I love it. Billy Connolly is just the genius of geniuses for me. I think if you, because I love comedy. When I come, a lot of the dinners I go to and you said to me, Gaz, before, and you, Rod, you said, oh, look, yeah, you don't have to stay, you can go. And I've seen you how many times, but I always stay to watch a comedian. It doesn't matter whether I'm working for it, because I love the rapport that you have and all. I love that part of the evening. That's my entertainment for going out and talking shit all the time. You know what I mean? That's just the lovely bit. And Billy Connolly, to stand there and his TV programs, how he takes his TV programs and he puts them in, around Australia, New Zealand. You have a look at it. What he's done in the day, he puts into his show in the night, and then he moves on from Adelaide to Melbourne to Sydney to, it doesn't matter where he is. He adds and he makes it personal for people and he tells stories, and for me, just genius.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely different class. Absolutely different. Some of the DVDs that he did back in the day, there's some bits I can cry at, the bits where he was on holiday and he drank the water out of a bottle because one of the kids had drunk the water and then filled it up with the tap water. And what happened after that? Normally you'd be gipping, but because it's him, you're crying at the things it's just different class.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
I went to see him actually after he was diagnosed with the Parkinson's, and he came out on stage, and it took him about 2 minutes to get center stage, and he got himself settled and everything. And there was this like air of concern. Everybody was wondering whether he was going to be able to do it, because you could see the energy was gone. He didn't have that ferocity about him. And then he took the microphone, and as soon as he opened his mouth, hello everybody, you just knew he was there. But because it was all, I don't know, in some ways it was better because you were like hanging on his every word, and you just, yeah, it was one of the best performances I've ever seen.
Amazing. And I can't believe when you saw him, he tried to pretend to be Sean Connery.
He did. He always
It was
did.
Robin Williams.
Yeah. Well, I do.
Oh man, I haven't put Robin Williams. How haven't I put Robin Williams in?
No. You picked your 5 now. You picked your 5.
It's
man.
All my impressions apparently have got a tinge of Robin Williams in them. No. Everything ends in no. Don't be afraid.
Honestly, well, if you do that, you're doing something right. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Number 2, then, Scott.
Number 2, Lee Evans. I love it. I love his enthusiasm. He sweats like me.
Oh, Christ!
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
He stands on stage. You always feel for Lee Evans when you watch him, and he doesn't do a lot anymore, does he? You know what I mean?
He's back in.
He was one of the first guys to do arenas, to get out there and to show what is capable, I think, in comedy. He'd be there for 2 hours. Everything would be perfect with him in delivery, but you always felt, that he didn't want to be there. His nervousness, you know what I mean? He always seemed nervous. But, that to me was just fantastic. And sort of growing up watching him do that, and watching him it's almost watching myself on stage when I first started speaking, with the nerves, and you thought, if he can capture an audience like that and just be like that and love him as much as everybody loves him, then you can give it a go.
Yeah. And
I just think because of that, I think he's just fantastic.
He just comes over as a lovely bloke as well, doesn't he? And you've met Big Ian, Gaz, the guy who's the anyway, you used to work down on the door at the hotel down the bay, Cardiff Bay. Lee Evans used to stay there because he did all his preview nights at the Glee Club to get his material ready for the show.
Yeah.
And he came in one night, and my mate says, "Oh, my mate's a comic, he phones me up and hands Lee Evans the phone, and he's such a nice bloke. He had the good grace to come on the phone and pretend to be a bit interested, in what I was doing, and and then he went, no. He said, he actually." No, he's just a top bloke. I really, really like him as a bloke.
And he was also one of the first comics who did like the arena tour to finish off on a big number, a big crescendo ending that Peter Kay did later on, didn't he?
Yeah, got a bit of music in there, didn't he? With the piano.
Brilliant. Go on then, number 3, Scott.
Just a legend. I just love him. It's Eddie Murphy.
Right.
And when I first saw Eddie Murphy Raw, it was just incredible, just absolutely incredible. When he had that red suit on, red leather suit, and he was on stage, and I'll always remember. The one thing I'll always remember is, and I've done it for years and years and years. I've got an ice cream. I got an ice cream, and then he drops it. Drops it. You dropped your ice cream. You dropped your ice cream, and it just that sketch. When he did that sketch, it was a joke, but you were watching the whole scene play out, and I just thought that's just total genius. Total genius. And we've all seen him in the films, and we've seen him in that. But that Eddie Murphy Raw, I think, is probably one of the best things he's ever done. And it was just pitch perfect.
Well, I managed. My sister hired Delirious from the video shop. Remember, you had to go to the video shop, and they had a little alcove in the corner with adult comedy. And she had this Delirious, and I watched it. And I think he says "motherfucker" about 72 times in the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I adopted the word straight away, and I can remember getting told off for calling my dad a motherfucker, which in a way, it is descriptively accurate, isn't it? But he wasn't having that. No defense.
That's the swear word for me.
That was the one that was Delirious and Raw, wasn't it? So, was that the one with the ice cream? Oh, no, it was Raw with the ice cream, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was definitely one of them. Yeah, I think it was.
Man,
it was Raw, but
yeah.
I don't think you can get away with using the word, I couldn't use it in my stand-up. I couldn't go on and say, "Hey, Donna Revile, you motherfuckers." They don't take lightly to it, do they? But
Well, not unless your dad's there.
unless my dad's there, or all my dads.
And then that's fine.
If the room was made up of lots of people, I suppose if you had like 3 or 4 different fathers, you could get away with it quite easily, couldn't you? And they all happen to be there. Hey, motherfuckers.
Oh man. Oh, but I thought he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then you saw him then in the movies, and then just fantastic, absolutely brilliant. Fantastic.
Good. Number 4.
Tommy Cooper. And we did a Tommy Cooper day because it was his 100th birthday a couple of weeks ago. And I was working on Radio Wales, and we would do, people were phoning in to tell us their favourite jokes and everything like that. And you just, when I follow him on Twitter, I follow Tommy Cooper's account on Twitter, and it's the class of the man. I also follow Lauren Hardy, right? And those are the 2 accounts really. If I manage to get one in the morning, an hour of my life is gone. Yeah. Because I'm just scrolling through and Tommy Cooper, I just scrolling through the glass jokes, and the fact that he was in the magic circle, and the fact that he made the magic look so bad is actually the brilliance of him.
Yeah, because he could,
and the one, he's the only guy, right? You talk about Billy Codley coming on stage, and Tommy Cooper's the only guy I know that doesn't go on stage and just ruffles your curtains there. He's probably, behind you. Ruffles your curtains and gets a laugh for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Or go, and that gets a laugh for 4 minutes. When he comes on, he gets a standing ovation, and I don't think there's anybody since or anybody before that has ever had that impact on comedy and the style of comedy, where tragedy and the tragedy nature of his magic was so funny.
Yeah.
But the prop, the garden gate prop that he had, no one can get away with that. Just walk through it, and for no apparent reason, and everyone's in bits. It's just mental.
They reckon every time he played,
I love his.
He used to give the concert secretary a brown envelope, didn't they, as he was leaving, and they go, "Have a drink on me," and then they'd open it up. It'd be 2 tea bags.
That's it. Yeah, but what I love, right, is the fact that if you show 9, 10, 11-year-old kids that comedy now, they laugh.
Yeah.
And I think that is the truth of the guy.
And your final comedian, Scott?
Peter Kay. Peter Kay. What Car Share, I think, was just a genius. Yeah. And when you see Car Share, and when you see the dilemma, has he got time to post the letter or not? And as he got, and then he got, and then I won't spoil, if you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it for you. But that scene is one of the greatest. One of the greatest. And of course, his stand-up shows about the controls, the TV controls, and his mum and his grandma, and they're in the audience, and the audience are looking at the mum and the grand, and he's saying things about them. He's giggling about. It's the things we want to say, It's the things, if you're standing on stage, you wish you could get away with it, and and I just think that. To watch a guy, I watch you two, and you enjoy what you do. You really enjoy what you do, and if you're doing that, you got to enjoy what you do. And to stand on stage like that and really enjoy what he does, I think is just brilliant.
Yeah. He is
Magnificent.
force of nature, Peter Kay, I think.
Now listen here, you. I love listening to Gimme 5. I enjoy it, all right? I just can't put my finger on why.
So, like we finish every Gimme 5 podcast with your top 5 dinner guests. These are the people who like to sit around a dinner table and just chat with.
Well, got to be right. They'd probably be, sort of 5 Rod Woodwards rather than 5 Gary Marshalls, because you'd fucking eat me out of house and home, and he'd be all right. I'd have leftovers. Oh, what have Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's one. I think he'd eat a bit, and he drinks a lot of whiskey. I think he'd eat a bit. Arnold Schwarzenegger has always been, one of my heroes, sort of growing up, and my first ever Yorkshire Terrier was called Arnold, after Arnold Schwarzenegger. He used to run away a lot, and I used to have to chase after him, going, Arnold. So come back, and then people would be looking for this massive dog, and I'd catch him, and he was about that big. I'd go, come on. So yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger would definitely be one.
Okay.
I wrote stars down, so I think Sevi would be one.
Yeah.
Just taken far too young. I never met him. I've been lucky enough to met a few golfers, but never met Sevi, and would love to have met him. So just a genius. Sevi made the Ryder Cup what it is now.
Yeah.
Right.
When you have a look at the way that the Ryder Cup has moved on and become the thing in the last 20, 30 years, I think Sevi has brought, with the European team, he brought that energy to that, and I think that was absolutely incredible. Who would I have then? Who would I have? Probably Dolly Parton. Again, just because I love her. And we could sing 9 and 5 together. 9 to 5. We could have a sing song.
I could imagine.
And she could bring. And she won't eat a lot, will she?
No, I don't suppose she would really, but
Got a very thin waist.
very thin waist.
Yeah. So if I got Arnold there, I'm gonna probably have to have Dolly there. Just you know what I mean. Just cut the rations down a bit. So and of course. She could probably bring a vaccine round for me, because I haven't had my vaccine yet. So she put £1 million into the vaccine. So they must have sent it a few. So she could bring one round for me as well. I could be vaccinated as well when I'm doing the dishes after the food.
Forward thinking.
So that's 3, isn't it? Who else would I like to?
Would you
probably. Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, he's made a few lists. You won't be surprised. He's definitely going to make a few more as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think
the second or third dinner he's made, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
but perhaps he's not hungry then. Perhaps he won't be hungry. You know what I mean? It's like it's probably this could be like dinner date, or this could be like what's that one? Come dine with me. He could be fed up by Thursday.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And if you're with Muhammad Ali in his pomp, you wouldn't want him to throw his toys out. He'd just knock you out, wouldn't he?
Well, that's right.
My final one would be my grandfather.
Ah.
Yeah, my gramps. I get my gramps back, and
the English grandpa.
Yeah, grandpa. My grandpa Stan. I think he'd come back. He helped me build my stables when I was in Llanelli. So he helped me build the stables in Llanelli. He taught me everything I need to know about building and everything like that. And I'm hoping to put an extension on the kitchen next year, obviously, because I've got dinner guests coming around. So it'd be nice nice to have him back to just to talk through the plans and just have a chat with him for one more time.
Surely you could find a couple of Polish blokes down in Llanelli who would do that for you.
Yeah, but I live in Usk now. See, you could have got away there without spitting on your screen, couldn't you? Usk is a lot easier than Llanelli, isn't it?
It certainly is to pronounce. Yes, yeah.
So that would probably be those would be my dinner guests.
Brilliant. So just to recap, your films were Highlander, Twin Town, The Blind Side, Terminator, The Holiday, artists and groups: Queen, Dolly Parton, Fleetwood Mac, Guns N' Roses, and the cast from Les Mis. Your comics were Billy Connolly, Lee Evans, Eddie Murphy, Tommy Cooper, Peter Kay. Your food was an Indian takeaway, American as in huge amounts of food. Your Chinese, your Italian, your French, that's your snails. And your dinner guests: Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sevi Ballesteros, Dolly Parton, Muhammad Ali, and Grandad Stan.
I love listening to the Gimme 5 podcast. My wife, on the other hand, she's not so keen. Luckily, she has got her own radio.
Well, as is always the case with the Welsh guest, Gaz, I think it's fair to say Scott Quinnell did not disappoint. So you just wind him up and let him go.
Oh, he can talk the hind leg off a donkey, that fella. Different class.
Top bloke. And some quirky choices, I think.
Oh, exactly. Les Mis. Wow, who'd have thought that? Les Mis. And Dolly Parton. Where's that come from? Different class. I love this podcast.
Well, it's a good job you said that, because there are going to be more, we hope, as long as we get company every week. So if you'd like to join us for more insane ramblings from myself and the Gaza and whoever else we managed to inveigle into coming on, you'd be very welcome. Until then, we say a big thank you to our producer, Ian Parsons. This has been a Tis Done production, and you've been listening to Gimme 5, the podcast.